Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. You saw the thumbnail. If you are a gambler, you come to Las Vegas or any other casino throughout the United States, you're gonna want to see this video because the IRS just might be coming after you. And we'll discuss that right after this. All right, I am leaving the Boulevard Mall on Maryland on the, the east side of town. Look, there's police already here. Freaking yikes. I had some business to do over here, and I was debating doing a video because I haven't done one in quite a while. Let's just drive past, see what's what. Yeah, cops. That does not surprise me over here. It was a little bit, it was interesting. It's more like a flea market than it is an actual mall at this point. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. If you want me to go ahead and do a video inside here, I will do it. But I'm going to do it on a day where it's a little more busy, a little more activity, whatever. But drop it in the comments. Hey, Bror Fredrik, do a video at the Boulevard Mall. But again, we got more important things to talk about. So here's the deal. The IRS has announced that it is going to start going after 150,000 people who they consider quote unquote high income individuals who failed to report gambling winnings, whether in Las Vegas or anyone else. And they say if they go after these people and collect what's due, it'll bring in $1.4 billion with a B. And yes, we're gonna head to the strip momentarily if I can make this turn right here. Come on, bro. I'll wait for these cars. $1.4 billion. By government standards, that's like nothing. Because technically on our $36 trillion debt, it costs over $200 billion a day just to service that debt. No principal, just the actual debt. So 1.4 million is a drop in the bucket. But when you're broke, like the US government is currently broke, I guess you go looking under the mattress, you know what I'm saying? So they're looking under the mattress and they are going to go after these high income people. I don't know how they decide that. I guess they figure, hey, if some guy who's, barely getting by making 30K a year, he has a jackpot, he didn't pay his tax on it, what are we going to get out of him? Can't get blood from a stone. So I'm assuming they're figuring that, hey, these individuals have money, so when we serve them with these papers, they will be able to pay. Now, where does that put you? Now, first of all, they're saying right now that they're going to apply it to jackpots that were 15,000 and above. So don't breathe a sigh of relief yet on your $1,203 jackpot, because you know what's going to happen. If this is successful, if they successfully recover money from these individuals by threat and whatever else, threat of jail and all this seizure of assets on their 15,000, which technically you'd owe about 3,500 plus or minus, trust me, they will expand the program to everyone because they got, 87,000 new agents that they have to justify their existence. So we shall see. Now, are you off the hook? Now, I gave you that. You're probably like, oh, I don't have to watch the rest of this video because I didn't win $15,000 and I'm not high income. All right. Here's the deal, just so you know how the taxation on jackpots work. When you get that $1,207, $1,214, you ever notice that? It's just, most of these jackpots are, if you're betting between like 60 cents and $2 or $3, normally they are just above the $1,200 that qualifies them for the IRS. Now, they've been talking about making that for $5,000 for years now. What's up, dude? And and they're dragging their feet because they want to collect the tax on that $1,200. It makes me think that these casinos and possibly the the powers that be have some kind of joint deal. Let's make it $1,200. We'll give them a jackpot, $1,204, $1,216.04. Just enough to make you pay. So people get those, and you know what they say to themselves? Even up to $3,000, $4,000, or $15,000. Let me know if you ever did this. And well, don't. No, don't. Don't let me know in the comments if you ever did this. You say to yourself, well, okay, I just hit this jackpot for $1,244. However, I stuck 2,000 in these machines over the weekend, so that clearly offsets it. Well, technically it does. Well, I just won this $15,000 jackpot, but I put 20,000. Or my last trip to Vegas, I know I blew $26,000. So it's a wash. If anything, they owe me money. Unfortunately, that is not how it works. If you get the hand pay and they come and they make you sign it, and you give them the social security number, all that other type of stuff, you are officially obligated. You just can't say in your mind, guess what? It's a wash at this point because X, Y, Z. That's not how the government looks at it, and that's not how all these 87,000 IRS agents are going to look at it either. They're going to say, well, you were obligated to report it. Even if it's $1,200 and 1 penny, you are obligated to report that on your taxes, thus increasing the cost to do the tax. No more free tax because now you got to file a separate thing, yada, yada, yada. Okay, great. Now it becomes your burden of proof to show them your losses. Now, if you do use a card, yes, you can go back to each and every one of these properties that you've gamed in and get your win and loss report. Submit that along with the paperwork for the $1,200 and 1 penny. And yes, it will be a wash at that point. Even the people who they're initially, and I'm saying initially because that's where it's going to start. You know it and I know it. It's going to start at the 15,000 supposedly. And they're going to have to go back if they haven't done the reporting and prove that they had losses that outweigh that, but they're still obligated. They were obligating. And the years they're going after right now are between 2018 and 2020. And I'm sure it'll keep going from there. Now, do you keep records on an Excel spreadsheet? Possibly you do. Is that going to be credible? Probably not. They're going to want win and loss reports from the properties, which is going to put you in the unenviable position of having to contact all the properties you've ever gamed at and hope they are maintaining your win-loss records from 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 5 years ago. They probably do, but with great hassle. What if they're going to do this? They're not going to come knocking on the door, from what I understand. They are going to just send you a letter from the IRS, and that is the worst thing. Imagine you're going through your bills, and on one of them says IRS. If you're not expecting a tax return, your heart just sunk into your freaking gut. Anyway. And it's going to say, we know because the casinos have thoroughly ratted you out. We know for a fact that, I was just going to get into that lane. Because, yeah, the casinos are going to rat you out. Don't think they don't. Well, rat out, whatever. I consider it a rat out. But they're going to turn over their papers to the government saying, we paid this, we paid that. Because they're writing it off. So they don't want to be left on the hook for it. You're on the hook for it. So yes, you're going to get that notification saying, according to the Luxor, you won $14,999.99. Okay, great. We want our XYZ. We want our 20%. We want our 23% of your winnings and penalties. and penalties because, listen, you were supposed to pay this 7 years ago. You were supposed to pay this 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So the penalty rate is 30% on that money that you owe us. So it's not $3,000, it's $4,800 now, compounded. Frickin' yikes. So you're gonna just shit a brick and figure out what you need to do. So you're going to get on the phone, you're going to contact your host, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to gather all your proof, hopefully submit it, and hopefully it's accepted. That's assuming that these new IRS agents are even going to go for that, because some of them might be like, too late, too bad, and give you like 4 days to respond. And you're in Aruba at the moment. Who knows? I'm not making worst case scenarios, but there could be some worst case scenarios. And you'll have X amount of time to prove it. You might have to take off work. You might even have to go down to your local super duper friendly IRS office and discuss the matter with them in person. And which is worse? Going to traffic court? I think it's like the worst case scenario. So yeah, they are going to go after high income, high net worth individuals with 15,000, which is completely, it's so arbitrary, because they could say, hey, we're going after everyone down. Why did they set it above the actual law? So they're saying like the law applies to these people, but it doesn't apply to these people. You have to apply. I'm not saying they should do it, but it's an arbitrary enforcement of the actual law, because they know that that's where they calculated we can get our $1.4 billion from these freaking people. And they're going to say, you know what? If they're high net worth individuals anyway, maybe, just maybe, they'll just send us the money and not prove, because if I got like $7 million in the bank and I'm making high 6 figures, whatever, maybe I don't want to take the time to prove. Just give them their freaking $3,000 and be done with it. But here's the kicker, though. Now you're already on a list of people who avoided paying taxes. So that is another unenviable position, because now you're giving them all the excuses in the world to shine an O-light up your ass to figure out what else you're not reporting. Hey, you had that garage sale 2 years ago. You made $600 and a penny. You have to report that. You see what I'm getting at? So, for your own peace of mind, I don't use a card, so I just keep, I do keep my own records and whatnot. And yes, they are valid, because I'm not doing it post fact, and any forensics can tell that they're not being done post facto. But anyway, it's not about me, it's about you. If you don't use a card, whatever, but keep records. I would suggest getting your win-loss statements at the end of the year regardless of whether you're ahead, you're behind. Just get them and have them in your records in case you're ever audited, because now it is going to be open season on people who gamble. It doesn't matter high income, low income, because like I said, if this is successful, they're going to start just making this broad, and it'll apply to your little old $1,204 hand pay. The minute it's got your social security number, you sign that shit, you are liable. So keep your records, do all your stuff, and just avoid problems, because when you rationalize it and say, you're 100% correct. I spent $3,000. I fed this machine to get this $1,200. Yes, but that is not the way Uncle Sam looks at it. He should look at it that way, but, come on. The other thing that's kind of messed up is, if you think about it, is the fact that they actually think, and they're perpetrating the fraud, that people win in casinos. This is based on the assumption that people actually win in casinos. Nobody wins in casinos. Nobody's ahead, that far ahead. Maybe if you won mega bucks and never stepped foot in a freaking casino again. Maybe if you got $1,200 in the airport and just turned around, got on the plane and said, I'm out of here. That's the only way. But the whole premise of gaming and gambling is you don't win. It is mathematically impossible to win. And if that's taken into consideration, this would be a non-issue because nobody is ahead. Nobody is getting that form, that hand pay form from the casino is ever ahead. It is impossible. There's some anomalies, of course. Some guy struck it rich, never gave the money back, blah, blah, blah. But for the 99 whatever percent of people, you're never, ever going to win and get at. You could win at times, but in the long run, the casino always wins. And the IRS is not acknowledging that fact. They are just based on the assumption that anything you win in the casino is income. It's income, and you're not reporting it. So frickin' yikes. But forget about the premise that you don't win in casinos. So be ye frickin' informed, be ye careful, keep your records, and don't do the rationalization in your head. And if you happen to be one of those people, start getting ready now. I don't know when this is going to take effect, but it will take effect soon, maybe sooner than later. I mean, we got the election coming up and all this other stuff. But like I said, the government is absolutely freaking broke. We do not even realize how broke we are. We see the streets, we see everything nice here in Vegas, but our government, the United States government, is freaking broke, dead broke, and in debt. Generational, like there's no way out. It costs $1 trillion a year to service our debt. At current rates, 75% of all taxes collected in this country currently are going to service debt. Not to the streets, not to the roads, not to the teachers. It's going to service our debt. And it's just getting worse. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So I hope you learned something from that video. Drop what you think down in the comments. And I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button. Don't forget to check me out on my live streaming platform, which is brorfredrik.com, where we can talk about things like this in serious depth. Not this superficial, but I believe this was informative. We can talk about anything we want, or I could talk about anything we want. And it's just an awesome time. And don't forget to click on all the links, do all the stuff. And I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Make sure it sound right, boys.